Welcome to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. This tutorial explains how to move a compute instance with manual migration. There might be times when the OCI team needs to update a subset of availability domains, also known as ADs, on a particular region to improve service resiliency. Hence, it is needed that you migrate the compute instances out of the affected ADs. Remember that for instances without a date in the maintenance reboot field available in the console, CLI, or SDKs, you must move the instance manually. Before moving the instance, document all critical details and prepare the instance for manual migration, such as the instance region, availability domain, fault domain, and display name. Also, ensure that you document all private IP addresses, names, and subsets. Note that the instance can have multiple VNICs and each VNIC can have multiple secondary IP addresses. All private DNS names. The instance can have multiple VNICs and each VNIC can have multiple secondary IP addresses. Each private IP address can have a DNS name. Any public IP addresses assigned from a reserved public pool. Note that the instance can have multiple VNICs and each VNIC can have multiple secondary private IP addresses. Each VNIC and secondary private IP address can have an attached public IP address. Any block volumes attached to the instance or any tags. Moving an instance with this method requires that you delete or terminate the instance and then launch a new one from the retained boot volume. Before I show you the migration steps, you must be aware of the following limitations. Any public IP addresses assigned to your instance from a reserved public pool are retained. Any that were not assigned from a reserved public IP address pool will change. However, private IP addresses do not change. MAC addresses, CPU IDs, and other unique hardware identifiers do change during the move. If any applications running on the instance use these identifiers for licensing or other purposes, and be sure to take note of this information before moving the instance to help you manage the change. Shielded instances have additional limitation. You can see in the documentation. After completing prerequisite, manual migration of your compute instances requires multiple steps. First, you need to stop all applications on the compute instance. In the OCI console, go to Compute Instances. For this demo, I have selected this instance. This instance is in a running state. Go to Attached Block Volumes. As we see, the block volume is attached. Make a note of its name. Let's go back to the instance and stop it. After the instance stops, go to the main menu again and select Storage, Block Volume. Now, we need to take a backup of the block volume that was attached to the instance we stopped a minute ago. Click the three-dot menu and select Create Manual Backup. Give a name and select a backup type and then click Create Block Volume Backup. Click Block Volume Backups to see the backup that we just created. Similarly, perform the exact same steps to take the backup of the boot volume. As you see, the backup file is under Boot Volume Backups. Since we have taken the backups of the block and boot volumes, we can now go ahead and terminate the compute instance. Go to the main menu, Compute Instances. Select the instance that you stopped. Click Terminate, Terminate Instance. Ensure that the Permanently Delete the Attached Boot Volume checkbox is cleared. This preserves the boot volume that is associated with the instance. Notice the availability domain of the instance here. The instance is successfully terminated. Let's go to Storage, Block Volume again. Under Block Storage menu, click Boot Volume Backups. Click the three-dot menu and select Restore Boot Volume. In the availability domain list, select the availability domain to which you want to migrate. Here, all the availability domains of the region are displayed. Provide the name and backup policy if required, and then click Restore Boot Volume. As you see, the boot volume has been restored in the selected availability domain. The next step is to relaunch the compute instance with the boot volume. Click Create Instance, enter the name, and ensure that the correct compartment, availability domain, and boot volume are selected. Provide the SSH key if required and click Create. As you see, the instance is created in the chosen availability domain. Finally, let's restore the block volume in the same availability domain. In the menu, go to Storage, Block Volume. Click Block Volume Backups and then select Restore Block Volume. Select the same availability domain as of the restored instance and provide the name. Select Backup Policies, if any, and click Restore Block Volume. The restored block volume will appear under Block Volume. Go to Compute Instances. Select the instance that we relaunched a while ago. Select Attached Block Volume and click Attach Block Volume. Under Volume, select the block volume that we restored and click Attach. At this point, if your instance has a Linux operating system, you will get a warning message to tell you to log in and run the iSCSI connect commands. You must unmount the drive and then run the disconnect commands before detaching, or the instance reboot will fail. Also, if you add this volume to the instance's etc/fstab file to automatically mount on boot, you must include the netdev and no-fail options. Therefore, configure the compute instance as needed and start and test any applications on the instance. If you have multiple instances, you will have to repeat the steps for all the instances that you want to migrate from the previous availability domain to the new one. After you confirm that the migrated instances are working fine, optionally you can delete the block volume backups. To do that, go to Storage, block volume backups, and boot volume backups. Select the Terminate option from the three-dot menu to delete the backup. Let's now have a look at a few migration best practices. If you have multiple instances impacted, start to migrate the critical ones first. OCI recommends that you perform the migration during a convenient time window to minimize any outages or data loss. If you do not migrate within the time specified in the notification, your impacted instances will be terminated and your applications in these instances will be shut down. The boot and block volumes will be detached and continue to be available during the data retrieval period specified in your Oracle Cloud Services agreement. If a particular availability domain is not available to place the instance, the OCI console will guide you through the process and let you select only the available ones. Now let's go over the steps again. First, stop the compute instances, then backup the block and boot volumes. Terminate the compute instances. Restore boot volume in another availability domain. Relaunch the compute instance with the restore boot volume. Restore the block volume in the same availability domain. Attach the block volume, and then finally start the instances. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure team will support you along the process if needed and can advise which instances are most critical to migrate. See the video description for the reference documentation links. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Thank you for watching.